Marta, thanks for attending this meeting today. I know that you are very busy, and thanks for coming. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to be with you today. At the UOC, at the UOC, as you say in Catalan, we have students for over 140 students, countries, and our research, as these words from our president, Professor Josep Planell, the research is about something that it's very important at our university. It's a cornerstone, as he says. We are not a traditional university. Rather than just survive, we want to go to new levels. We want to transcend, I would say. So that's why I said that we made excellent research a cornerstone. And the UOC research contributes to the challenges facing global societies in the 21st century by studying the interaction of human activity with technology. This is our main focus, and with a specific one on the network society, online learning, and digital health. And because of that, we are building all together, including that includes you, an R&I ecosystem with 3 missions, and that I like to represent in this triple helix that it reminds a DNA structure, but it's in the triple wave, not double the helix, but triple, with these 3 missions: network, society, learning, research, and digital health. And the interaction between these strands is thanks to the research groups in our that made for researchers in our 2 research centers, the Internet Interdisciplinary Institute, IN3, and the eHealth Center, and also from the 7 faculties that we have that I will show you in a minute. So the research groups help or all together are building this triple helix system or ecosystem with a core in the research at the frontiers between human sciences and technology. Oops, sorry, I lost my now. Okay, and the Doctoral School is the most important part, I would say, for this beginning, of course, and that means you. Of course, the ethics committee is something at the very important at the core, as well as our means. That means the research hub labs in a sense of scientific and technology services. And this, again, I'm sorry, I'm saying all the time, sorry, because I'm losing my pointer. Sorry about that. So these research groups belong to the 2 research centers, and also to one of our 7 faculties, the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, the Faculty of Computing, Multimedia and Telecoms, Faculty of Law and Political Sciences, Faculty of Economics and Business, of Science, of Psychology and Educational Science, and Information and Communication Sciences. And having all together, relating all together with these 3 strands of the triple helix, or if you will, with these 3 main missions. All faculties and research centers are helping or building all together these three main missions that we are focusing on. And you can imagine it as a triple helix or as a wheel that is interacting with all of them. And that for building it, we have more space in a new building. In fact, at the Poplano district, at the the part of the campus that we call 22 at, and these in the right upper corner, you will see the three buildings. This is there is one already that we are there, but the one that you can be circled in green is the one that you have in the middle of the slide. And as you can see, you will be located maybe at the end of this year or at the beginning of the next year at the second floor with this nice terrace close by. I just saying that what we want to be in terms of R&I at the UOC is engaging, outstanding, and meaningful. And engaging means attracting talent and projects, talent like you, outstanding. That means reaching further with high quality publications, and meaningful, that conducting research that has a societal impact. And all these three missions that I mentioned are really inherently interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary, but also translational. That is a part of being meaningful, that we are doing our research taking into account the potential final users, at least when it's finished, right? And we want to do that with our colleagues and our organization. So I told you we have 2 research centers, 7 faculties, but I didn't tell you how many research groups we have. You can see that 51. The Doctoral School with all of you and the ones that started some years ago and will finish this year or the next years. We also have a support, R&I support staff with 30 people, including 1 deputy general manager for research. We are all in all, we are 400 members of faculties and 150 full-time researchers. That's not a lot. It's a somehow small university, but we are really pursuing nice objectives and goals in terms of R&I. And we have been pushing a lot in that in results too, in outputs, and we earned recognition in our context. As you can see here, the UOC is one of the strongest universities for growth in research in relative terms from this period, 2015 to 2019. The university, the UOC is the 3rd highest increase in international scientific publications. Also, publications per number of research up by 15%. And well, you see the next, we can read all them all in terms of interdisciplinary scientific publications, also an increased international research faculty, and we have high performance indicators above the mean of these 60 Spanish universities regarding normalized impact factor, highly cited publications, postdocs, and mean number of accredited research periods of the faculty. So finally, I would like to say that the UOC is the leading online university for research according to that Spanish ranking. Now, taking into account the European framework for researchers, we are you are in the first stage, the so-called R1. That means up to the point of PhD. But next, you will achieve the R2 status, I should say, or recognized researchers. That means PhD holders, hopefully like you, or equivalent, who are not yet fully independent in conducting research. Then the R3, meaning that you are already an established researchers, that you have developed somehow a level of independence, and finally you get the last stage, or as a leading researcher in your research area or field. That takes about at least 10 or 15 years and sometimes 20 years. So you have a very nice long career ahead. And with this doctoral education, what you get is a very high level education and trying to understand and solve complex problems. And complex problems are anywhere, right? Not only in academia. And I will finish with this definition of doctoral programs that the League of European Research Universities wrote down some years ago. So they are saying that doctoral, and I agree with that, doctoral programs aim to train researchers to the highest skill levels to become creative, critical, and autonomous intellectual risk takers in pushing the boundaries of frontier research. And the research and the people trained in this doctoral program inspired many of the ideas, aspirations, and actions that contribute to the vitality of society and its capacity for both creativity in responding to whatever the future might bring. So go ahead with intellectual risk takers. I'll see you around. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marta, for this nice introduction. Thank you very much. So let's continue this session with the welcome now to the doctoral school. I guess that you already know now in which institution are you located. Let's go now for the doctoral school, which is the part where we are involved. Okay, first of all, dear colleagues and friends, welcome to this welcome session. I wish we could do this face-to-face, but the current situation does not allow us to do that, and we have to move it online as in the previous year. I hope that very soon we will be able to talk each other face-to-face and see you again. I wish it could be soon. Okay, in this presentation, I will give you first give motivational words and explain you why are you here, why are you supposed to be here, and then I will explain you briefly how we are organized internally, the doctoral school, which doctoral programs do we have. I will show you a little bit which are our specific courses for researchers, and then I will end with some comments, conclusions, and share with you some experiences that we had during the last six years. So please, can you move to the next slide? Okay. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind when my colleagues ask me to do this presentation is what can I tell to these people that can be useful for them, no? Because you come from different places with different motivations. And the first thing that comes to my mind is well, maybe I can explain them my own situation, like 20 years ago when I was right there where they are and why I was starting my PhD, you know. So the first question that came to my mind at that time was, am I doing the right choice? So just to share with you, at that time I was working in a private company and I quit to start a PhD. I sacrificed like half of my salary and also a lot of my free time, but I discovered this later, so forget it. It's about right now. And the point was, is it all of this worth the try? I mean, it's going to be useful for me. And after 20 years, I can tell you for sure that it was one of the best decisions I took in my life. Because, well, enrolling myself in a PhD program allowed me to meet really wonderful people, to know really good researchers and to learn a lot of things. I could travel a lot, visit different places where research groups were doing cutting edge research, and I'm really happy of that decision. I I've been able to become a real researcher, and seeing it 20 years later, I can tell you for sure that your choice is the right choice. And also at that time, I was sitting in a room where some guy did the same presentations as I'm doing now. I thought, well, but what's exactly the job of a PhD student? Because I enrolled in a PhD program without knowing exactly what I was going to do the next years. No, it was a little bit crazy at that time. And I can tell you that it's not very easy to understand what's the job of a PhD student right now at your stage. Indeed, in the undergraduate studies, in the bachelor, in your degree, probably you're used to just answer questions. So there is someone that poses the questions, explains you contents. At some point, they assess your ability to understand that and just are supposed to answer some questions. No, here the things go the other way around. No, you are the ones that are going to pose the questions and also find the answers. But at the end, you're supposed here to push the borders of knowledge of your discipline. You're supposed to be the ones to formulate or open new fields inside your area. So you're the ones that are going to formulate the questions here. And the third question was, and what about the future? I'm going to be here for 3, 4, 5 years, and then what? No, I was working at the company, and after this training, what I will be able to do, or where will I go? No. And here, well, I'm not going to lie here. Positions as a researcher in the academia or the university or research centers are not easy to get. I mean, there are every year there are more applicants than positions available. But the current statistics, this is from 1 year ago, from the ACU, from the Catalan Agency for the Quality of the Universities. 95% of the graduate PhD students are employed, and this is important. There are not really significant differences between disciplines. It's not a matter of being a techie or being in social sciences. Almost all disciplines have more or less the same employment rate, which is very high in Spain. This is number, and this is something that catches my eye. More than the half of the doctors are nowadays working in industry. Around 41% are working in universities or research centers, and around 60% of them are working in the industry, which is really good, because at the end, this is one of the final goals that we have as a university, to transfer the knowledge from the academia to the society. And also there is a common trend in almost all disciplines, is that most of the PhD students, when finish the thesis, probably they will not work exactly on the exact same topic of their thesis. They will have to solve complex problems in general. I mean, they will be able to learn or to do research. The goal of the PhD is to learn this to see this as a profession. And that in this profession is how to do research. No? You're going to learn here how to do research. So you're supposed to be able to face different problems and find solutions to them. And can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Well, I hope that you are convinced now that you are at the right place and the right time, and I'm pretty sure that you are. I can tell you for sure. Let me now give you a brief overview of the structure and how we are organized internally at the doctoral school. Well, the doctoral school is organized in programs, in PhD programs. Each program has its own director and an academic commission. This means that each program has a set of experts. Let's say they are almost all of them professors or researchers in our centers, and they are experts in this field, and they are going to take jointly the main decisions that affect your PhD. They will assess you every year, etc., etc. And then we have an academic secretariat with a few people that will help you in your daily activity at the doctoral school. Okay, the director of the doctoral school, that's me, and the program director and Marta, who is managing the secretariat, made the direction committee, where we take the main decisions that we share at the doctoral school level. And also you have the counselor classrooms, those tutores, the tutors, that will try to help you in your daily activity. And also in these classrooms, you will meet students from previous years, and probably they were in your shoes 1 or 2 years ago, and they can provide you some information and their own experience to make your life more comfortable here at the Doctoral School. Please, can you go to the next slide? Thank you. These are the people involved in the Doctoral School in the administration level. Marta Franco is leading the program manager, leading the Secretariat. Goretti is the person who helps us in communicating our research in the social networks and also in the regular media. And then we have technical managers, Puri, Agnes, Paul, and Daniela, who will help you in your daily activity at your specific program. And Christina will help you a lot in your welcoming you and many procedures that are common in all the programs. I guess that you already know all of them. And Isabel also is helping you in your daily activity here at the school and also organizing a lot of events and helping out to us. Next slide, please. At the Doctoral School, not at the UOC, I mean just Doctoral School, we have students from more than 64 countries, and we still offer the two modalities. We have full-time students and part-time students. In the first case, you have 3 years with a grant to complete your thesis, and in the second case, you have 5 years. Okay. In both cases, there are possible extensions, and there is people using these extensions. I would say that 80% of our students are doing the thesis in the part-time modality, and around 20% in the full-time modality. Although this changes every year. And also, as a UOC, we have researchers at the 3 institutes, at the IN3, Elon Center, and Health Center, and also most of our researchers are the directors are at one of the 7 UOC departments. Can you go to the next slide, please? If you look at the programs, nowadays we have 8 programs. We are trying to increase these with a new program in law and economy. But nowadays we have 8 programs, 3 of them linked to the UOC departments, the health and psychology, humanities and communication, and the network and information technologies. 2 of them I would say that are more interdisciplinary with professors from almost all the UOC departments, the education and ICT, and the society and technology and culture program. And then we have 3 programs that we do jointly with other universities from Spain, the bioinformatics, business management, and tourism programs. These are the inter-university programs. Can you go to the next slide, please? I guess that in a few minutes you're going to meet the program directors of your program, and they will explain you the exact rulings of the program and which is going to be the relationship with them. Just to introduce them, Mireia Fernandez-Rebol is the director of the doctoral program in Society, Technology, and Culture. Yolanda Garcia is the director of Education and ICT. In this case, the meeting is not going to take place today. There will be a new date for this meeting. We are just arranging a few things, and we will tell you in brief by email when and how to attend this meeting. Then we have Fernanda Lantal, who is the director of the Network and Information Technologies program. Joan Pujolà is the director of the Humanities and Communication program, and Ruben Nieto directs the Health and Psychology program. Can you go to the next slide, please? In the case of the university programs, Angel Juan is the director of the Bioinformatics program, Antonio Massaguer directs the Business and Management program, and Luis Garay directs the Tourism program. You will meet all these directors really soon. Can you go to the next slide, please? The internal organization or the purpose of the doctoral school is to try to create a common framework for the different doctoral programs. The idea is to provide some common rules for all the programs, although all the programs have some sort of some degree of independence. We try to organize the training plan for all the doctoral students, and usually what we do is to ask to your tutors or thesis directors and yourselves for a training plan for the first year. So you provide usually some sort of subjects and courses that you want to take during your first year, and then you provide us with a tutor or a thesis committee, which is a set of people that is going to help you or help us in the assessment of your thesis every year. And also, they are going to advise you in the best way that you can complete your thesis. And then we also are responsible, the Doctoral School, to create and monitor the annual assessment for each of the programs. Okay, the point is that during the first year, you are going to develop what is called the research plan. This means that, well, you are going to chat or talk with your supervisors and you're going to agree with a hypothesis or goal to achieve in your thesis. You're going to explain us the state of the art, what is missing, which gap you need to fill, and how you're going to meet to fill this gap. And then you will provide us with a methodology and a set of tasks. You will explain us which tasks are you going to do to solve your problem or to validate your hypothesis. And you will put this task in a calendar, in a schedule or a Gantt diagram or whatever you want to use. In this case, you will tell us each year which activities you are going to perform. And this is going to be assessed during the first year. From the second year on of your thesis, the point is you need to deliver the activity report, which is sort of a log or a report where you explain there all the activities that you do. And we are going to assess whether these activities fit your research plan. I mean, all the tasks that you did that you're going to do are done, or if there is any deviation on the research plan. If it's the case, you need to correct the research plan. So essentially, as you have very few time to complete your thesis, we see that this is as a project with a good planification, with schedule, and with people responsible for each task. Okay, and at the end, you are expected to defend your thesis publicly, okay, with a committee, and eventually, obviously, you will become a doctor. Okay, can you go to the next slide, please? Yes, we also offer. We just not offer the methodological subject, but also we offer some specific courses that are not mandatory, but are probably interesting enough for most of you, which are related to some skills useful for researchers. Okay, you will have a course in academic writing. For sure, you're going to write papers and a whole thesis, so it's going to be useful. You have a course on academic presentations, entrepreneurship for researchers, patents, and also there is a course for writing, academic writing, for the specific topic of biomedical sciences that we do with the Fundación Antoni Esteve. Okay, these are not mandatory, but are really useful for researchers, and not only for PhD students. Anyone at the work or outside the work can enroll these courses. Anyone that is interested in academic training. Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? Also, internally, we organize what we call quarterly meetings. We used to do this twice per year, but now with the current pandemic, we do it more often. Well, most of the people here at Doctoral School is working from home, almost all the students, and this situation is going to continue probably until Christmas. So, well, this is not a very good situation for us, because well, most of us need some contact and need to talk each other in person. So we try to run these events more often during this pandemic situation. Otherwise, we do it twice per year. All the grant holders must attend to these meetings, and this is a good space for sharing information between us and you, the researcher. Okay, so please try to attend, and also don't be passive attendant. Try to propose topics for the meeting, explain us your worries, suggestions, etc., so we can try to address the main concerns that you have. Indeed, many years we proposed specific monographic themes and topics, and it has been something really interesting that helped both of us a lot. We had a monographic workshop on ethics and good practices for our student supervision, and we got a document that was really useful for students and also for supervisors. We try to improve the welcome procedures, sharing the welcome needs of the people that especially the ones that come from abroad. So we are trying to find which are the relevant issues that worry our PhD students, and try to address jointly in a brainstorming sessions. How can we solve this in the best way? So attend and propose things, propose topics, please. We can go to the next slide, please. Let me share also with you some comments after these 6 years. I think I've been here for 6 years at the Doctoral School. During the first years, we put a lot of efforts on setting up the Doctoral School and setting the internal policies for making everything work. Okay, assessment, selection of candidates, etc. But now we are focusing a lot on other things, or things that can probably improve your stay here. We want to improve our welcome procedure and the service that we offer to the researchers. We want to foster collaborations among PhD students. I know that it's difficult, and most of you find that it's not necessary, but to me, it's a long-term investment. It's very good to collaborate with other groups and try to share your research. Most of you probably do not even know what your colleagues are doing, or what I see in PhD students at the UOC. Not you, you still have not started, but most of the people at the PhD school don't know what their colleagues are doing. And okay, we were working in 3 different buildings until now. And this is going to change, where we all together in the same building, as Marta just has shown in the previous slides. This is going to be easier to solve, but we need to establish seminars or ways to share what we are doing to foster collaborations. Obviously, if these collaborations are interdisciplinary, it's even better. Okay, we have a whole institute dealing with this topic, and it would be nice to find ways to create community. It's something that we still miss at the doctoral school. We do a lot of efforts on that, but it's not that easy. So we would like to create community, and this topic is something that needs to arise from you, from the researchers, from the students. We have now a Slack channel, it was quite active in the past. Now it's not that active. So I guess that most of you can enroll in this Slack channel and see whether there is room for improvement there. Also, we want to establish links with part-time students. I just told you that 80% of our students are doing the thesis online, part-time from their homes. And I guess that most of our full-time students don't know who are these people, what are they doing, even if some of them may be working at the same research group, but they are really isolated. Okay, and we need to incorporate them at the dynamics of this, or dynamics of the research groups and the doctoral school in general. And also, we have to do a lot regarding to the career plan development. This is something that some PhD students already asked us, and we need to work a lot on it. Okay? We need to provide skills related to team management, because at the end you're going to lead people once you become senior researchers, or just right now, which might be the topic that is more important for you right now. We need to train you or give you skills about how to apply future grants, postdoc positions, how to look for them. These sort of skills are probably common in all the programs, and can be done at the doctoral school level. Can you go to the next slide, please? And one of the priorities for the next years, it was for the last year, but we extended this for the next year because it's not solved and it's going to be difficult to solve, is the students' well-being. Marta shared with me a paper 1 year ago, 2 years ago, which was published in Nature, in one of these Nature journals, where they show that, and this is real research, that a PhD student has 6 times more probability of experiencing anxiety or depression than other students or workers. And this is really hard. I mean, all the doctoral schools in Europe should think about that and take actions, because, well, 6 times more probability of developing anxiety is quite a lot. And this means that thesis is something really complex, and there is a lot of factors behind this issue. And indeed, part-time students usually even ignore the details of a program or what service do we offer. And this makes things for them even more difficult because they are more isolated. So this is something that worries us a lot, and it's inside this big box which is called students' well-being that we are trying to develop. Okay. Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So things that I would do if I were you. First, try to meet very often with your supervisor. Ask your supervisor for specific goals, and do this kind of, I call it micromanagement, but I don't know which is the right word for that, where you just meet the supervisor, get some small goals for the next meeting, for the next week or the next 2 weeks, write down everything that you talk with supervisor, keep a log of your conversations, of the meetings, and try to assess from meeting to meeting whether the goals were achieved or not, and try to do this micromanagement. Do not leave or do not stay a lot of time without communication with supervisors. Otherwise, you are not going to take benefit of the time that you are here. 3 years is not a lot of time. You need to be very professional and need to be very focused on your thesis, and ask your supervisors to be focused on your thesis also, okay? Because it's their duty to help you in advancing and training you as a researcher. And also, you should be provided by your supervisors by a plan of publications, a publications plan. It should be challenging but realistic. It should be something that could be achieved in the years that you're going to be here. And also, you should start developing your career plan since the beginning. I mean, it's not possible to start working on that on your contacts or establishing a network in the last month of your thesis. It's something that should start since the beginning, or at least during the last year. And in case of conflicts, and this is very, very important, maybe this is the most important thing in this presentation. Sometimes, not very often, but sometimes there are conflicts between PhD students and supervisors. It might happen. At the end, it's a one-to-one relationship with personal issues inside. So if there is any problem, you feel that things are not going on well, if you feel that you start experiencing anxiety, please tell us. Tell your program director, or tell me directly. Okay, come to Doctoral School and tell me. But talk first. I recommend to talk first with your program director. Tell us, and we will see what we can do. Also, if you are afraid because you don't know me or don't know perfectly your program director, or you are afraid that he or she can tell to other people, talk to the student council. We have a protocol for that. You can go to the student council. I will introduce them later. They are for PhD students like you that can give you an advice or can help to mediate with the doctoral school, or can bring this case to us, preserving your anonymity, and can help us to mediate with your supervisors and see whether we can find a solution, which can be either solving the conflict with a mediation or changing the thesis direction. So please, if something goes wrong, tell us. Do not keep for yourself, because otherwise the situation is not easy to deal with, especially when we arrive to the last years of your thesis. So the first year is critical. You'll be able to notice whether everything is okay or there are problems. If it's the case, tell us. Okay, this is very, very relevant. Let's go to the next slide, please. Also, and this is also related to well-being, and maybe a lot of people is not aware of that. The UOC has an expert psychologist that can help you in many situations, and you can book a session with Julian, who is the psychologist that works with us, and everything that you tell to Julian is confidential. Neither the doctoral school nor human resources department will know anything about these conversations, and he helps people. He's a psychologist and may be able to help a lot of you. All doctoral students can attend to these sessions, the full-time students and the part-time students. So everyone is invited to that. You just go to the virtual campus and book a session with Julian. Hopefully you need it, but if you need, this service is there, and please be aware of that. And I will tell you that the statistics from last year says that almost 25% of the services that Julian did were with people related to the doctoral school, with doctoral students. So here we see clearly that anxiety and this sort of disorders affect clearly to our PhD students more than the rest of the researchers. And you can use this service for any other issue, not related to your work. So you can use it for personal problems, whatever you have in mind. I mean, it's not only related to your work, to your thesis. But usually anxiety is the leading or the most relevant factor statistically in these sections. Can we go to the next slide, please? So I have a final petition and then a few future work for you. I would recommend you that during these 3 or 5 years, you should learn how to be a good researcher. Okay, I know that this is assessed often in terms of the number of publications that you get, and this is very important. I mean, there is no doubt about that. If you go to a postdoc, people will look at your CV and will look at the amount of publications that you have, but quality is also important. And also, being a doctor is something a little bit more. It's not only being a person who is able to publish, but is also about learning how to be an independent researcher. Once you leave the work, you will be able to fly alone. Okay, so you should be able to submit grant proposals. You will do it for sure in the future. You should be able to collaborate with other groups and generate your own network, research network with colleagues. You should be able to design your research plan and redefine your interest, because for sure you're not going to work exactly in the same topic. So you need to define every several years your future research lines. And obviously, you should be able to transfer your knowledge and to the society. Solving complex problems is essentially the most important skill that you should develop here. Okay, and this sort of training is not usually written in the books, or you're not going to find a course for that. You need to acquire this in your lab, in your research group. You need to go to the meetings, group meetings. You need to talk with people. You need to, if they are submitting a grant, you can ask your supervisor to be there and in the meetings, and even if you don't need to talk at all, just listen and see how they organize in the group. Try to be curious. This curiosity is the essential part of the PhD. Is what drives your motivation for doing your PhD. And the sooner you start, the better. These are experiences that you accumulate. And also, obviously, try to do something that has impact. Not only something that has impact, but also try to share your work. Publish your work in open repositories besides the journals. If you generate data, surveys, share this data with the community. Share your code if you generate code. Try to do something that has some sort of return on the society. Can you go to the next slide, please? So conclusions and future work. Make sure, I'm sure that you made the right choice. So try to convince yourself that this is the case. Try to grow with our institution. Read a lot. Chances are that what you have in mind has been already done. Just you will find it in somewhere. So read it, and probably reading you will find ways to expand or to extend this way of solving your problem. Will give you new research lines to explore. Try to learn a lot. Keep a good communication flow with your advisor and do it really often. Try to collaborate with your colleagues if it's possible. And also, and finally, the most important one is try to find the right questions before, or to find the right answers. And can you go to the next slide? Because this is it. Welcome on board. Welcome to the walk, and welcome to the Doctoral School. And now I think there's another slide. Please, can you go on? Another. Okay. Here. Now we have. I will introduce you the people from the Student Council, who probably will say a few words. There is Luisa, Dorota, Michael, and Javier. They are the elected members of the Student Council. I think they were elected maybe 2 or 3 months ago. It's really recent. This council. We still have not met with them. Luisa could not be here today, as far as I understood. So Luisa prepared a video for you, and Dorota and Michael, after this video, maybe then they want to speak and give you some advice or tell you a few words. So maybe we can proceed with the video from Luisa, please.
Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone on board. My name is Luisa Ciarandio, and I'm a member of the Student Council. The Student Committee acts as a bridge between the university and the students. It will be constituted and then updated next October. And what about me? This is my second year in the e-learning doctoral program. In this sense, I could tell you that it is not a simple process. On the way to becoming a PhD, there are no shortcuts, and it is usually very demanding. Also, we are not all full-time students. There are part-time students with family and work responsibilities that they need to pay attention to. That is why it is very important to properly manage the time and places available. Also, do not forget to take care of yourself, that is, your physical and mental health. As a part-time student, I fully understand the concerns you may have. Then I will strive to be your voice. In regard to this, I would like to tell you that we are a team. I know that now you may have many doubts, but take it easy, we are here to help. The first step is to offer communication means, so I would like to show you how. Next, I'm going to share my screen to show you different communication spaces. Once logged in, go to the tutor forum. Following the path más UOC, representantes de la comunidad universitaria, and then Consejo de Estudiantes, you could contact with the student committee. Also, in your Drive account, you could find lots of resources. Additionally, by scanning this code, you can find resources, my personal email, and a Slack forum where our concerns can be shared. Finally, remember to keep in touch with your supervisor. This is the most important person for the development of your thesis. Hoping this was helpful to you, just want to wish you a happy start and a very good academic year. Welcome to the UOC.
Thank you very much, Luisa. It's a very nice presentation, and thanks for the effort putting everything together in a video. It's really impressive. Thanks a lot. Now, I don't know, Dorota and Michael, both of you, or maybe you want to say something?
Perfect. Okay, yeah, so my name is Dorota Choińska. And first of all, I would like to welcome all of you on board in the UOC Doctoral School. I'm very glad that you're here, and I hope that these several years that you're going to spend as PhD candidates, that they are going to be very satisfying years of your life. So as you know, or just got to know, I am one of the newly chosen representatives of the Doctoral School and the Student Council of the Universitat Oberta de Catalunya. Actually, it's a little bit difficult for me to say a lot about this, since the Student Council is just to be constituted in around 2 weeks. So for the moment, we cannot really say that much about what we're going to do in the next 3-year term. But I would like to encourage you to turn to us with any concerns, any suggestions that you might have. Also, from my own perspective, I am a full-time student, a grant holder. So maybe in this sense, I can help you a little bit more if you have any questions, any troubles regarding your inscription, your, I don't know, the administrative part. Obviously, I'm not the master. I would say that the Secretariat of the UOC, these are the people to turn to. But if you think that I can help you in any ways regarding these matters, I can also tell you to just reach out to me. I will leave my personal email in the chat of this video conference. So please feel free to reach out to me if you find it helpful. And once again, welcome on board and have great few years in here at the UOC.
Thank you very much, Dorota. Thanks a lot. Michael, I don't know if you wish to say also something, or?
Well, hey, like Luisa's video said, and we just heard, there's not too much that we can say because the student council hasn't been constituted yet. But welcome to the UOC, and I hope that you have a really great experience here. At the beginning of October, we'll have our first meeting, and so then I guess we could tell you some more about it. But if you have any concerns, I'll leave my email in there too, but everyone else has said as much as they could to help you, and will be a place where you can communicate with us as we try to maybe protect your rights as knowledge workers, and also to try and help you gain access to language classes and to get whatever tools you can to succeed. Okay, well, yeah, welcome to UOC, and you're going to have a great time. You're going to do really great research, and I hope to meet you sometime in person.